environmental issues. Move on to genetics. So this chapter, yes, hi, thank you so much. Yes, sir, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, now can you hear me? Yes, now can you hear me? Am I audible? Yes, okay, so Sanjeevani, hello, hi, and Vairavan, hi. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. So there's someone new called as Swami Gowda. Yes, hello, hi, and thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. So Dharani, yes, a very happy good evening. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, my voice is clear now. Yes, thank you. Yes, Satyendra, hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. Come on guys, please do like, share and subscribe. Today they are going to take decision. Please pray for us, ma'am. Okay, whether you are going to have your state exam or you're not, right? So that is the decision. Okay, so Keshav, do you want your exam or you don't want your exam? You want your exam, right? Okay, I hope your exam stands postponed and not cancelled. Okay, Keshav, yes. Okay, so Swami Gada, I guess you're new to my session. Yes, thank you for joining my session. So today we are here talking about your environmental issues. So this is lecture 2. Hi Antonia B. Yes, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much guys for joining my lecture on time today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, so today let's go talk about your environmental issues. It's a pretty short lecture, so I have nothing much to explain. It is self-explanatory, you can say, because these are some topics which you can read by your own. I agree, topics like genetics are the one that you need someone's help. So with this, we'll be done with your last unit, that is ecology. So we will have a mega mentee for your ecology, and the winner of that mentee will get access to a mock test series. And after ecology in class 12, so today we'll be done with ecology. So from Monday I will be starting with your genetics unit. So make sure from Monday you join me. So I will solve as many questions as possible in genetics, both in your molecular basis as well as in your principles of inheritance, so that you get a good base in your genetics. So from Monday we are starting off with genetics, so we are done with environmental issues. Okay, yes, can you teach genetics? Okay, so genetics is my own subject, so it is a subject that I have my specialization in, and it is a subject that I love more than any other subject. So more than physiology, I love genetics, so my heart goes out to genetics. Yes, I teach all the 38 chapters for biology. So both your class 11, your class 12, both your botany, your zoology I teach. Okay, yes, Sanjeevani? Yes, I have already taught genetics and it has been a long time. We have solved n number of questions. So I had one lecture specifically on pedigree analysis. So pedigree analysis I have discussed in detail. If you can find that lecture, so please go back and look at it. Okay, so yesterday you have revised that lesson. All right, Antonia B. Yes, Ayappan Shakti will, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Alright, so from Monday it is genetics. So today let's finish off with your environmental issues. Yes, yes Shimpi, hello, very happy good evening. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Are you doing good? Okay, so please do like, share and subscribe. So shall we talk about environmental issue? So as promised, tomorrow 6 to 7, so I am coming with a new session in hand. So did you guess what is the session all about? Yes, I'm good, Ayappan Shaktivel. How are you? You're safe and sound? Right, okay, so all of you, on behalf of Keshav, let's pray that he should have his state exam and it should not get cancelled because he has done a lot of preparation. All right, Keshav, this is what you want from us, right? This is what you want us to pray? Okay, fine. So moving forward to talk about your environmental issues. So before we move forward, so I have an announcement. So this evening we are meeting again at 6 o'clock, that is after a break of 1 hour. So we are talking about Cell, the Unit of Life. So this lecture is at 6 p.m. So please join me at 6 p.m. So we'll try to finish off this chapter. So this lecture is at 6 p.m. So please do join me the same. No, why do you want to cancel the exam? Hare, recently you told me, ma'am, I have done a lot of preparation, I don't want to cancel. Now you're saying you want to cancel the exam? No, your exam should not be cancelled, that's what I pray. It's good, right? So you have put in a lot of efforts, give exam. Why do you want to cancel it? Alright, yes, so Antonia, we say super ma'am, okay, yes, so please wait for tomorrow's session 6 to 7. After a very long time, we're going to talk something not about your NEET biology, but something related to biology, okay? Yes, because the students who come here, okay, so they also genuinely trust me and come, so I don't want to fool them. So they come to me with a lot of faith. So I have taught them a lot of concepts. So yes, even though it's a free platform, my efforts are the same. So what are the efforts that I put in for a student that I go to a class, and the efforts that I put in here are the same, because ultimately I want to teach something proper to the students. Yes, so it is the same. Thank you so much, Ayyappan. It's useful. Okay, so Keshav, okay, so let's see what the decision comes. So let us know if your decision has come. Okay, yes. Okay, so today join me at 6 p.m. as well. So tomorrow, at 6 p.m.'s lecture, I'll give you the announcement for tomorrow. So tomorrow, what is the session for 6 to 7 and what are we going to discuss? Something that's very interesting. Alright, I'm sorry, this is lecture 2 of environmental issues. So we will continue from where we stopped. So we spoke about your water pollution and your air pollution, right? So we will go on from there. So I will finish it off quickly because this is a chapter which the more I extend, the more boring it will become. So I will try to finish it as quickly as possible. Okay, so what are the issues we were discussing? So we were discussing your air pollution and its control, then water pollution and its control. So today we'll talk about your solid waste, agrochemicals and their effects, radioactive waste, greenhouse effect and global warming, so ozone depletion, degradation by improper utilization. So moving forward, it is deforestation. So these are the issues that we are going to discuss today. Fine. Okay, so whatever happens, Keshav is fine. All right, great. So yes, so I will give you a quick recap of the air pollution that we spoke. So before we spoke about air pollution, we defined what is pollution. So pollution is any undesirable change, right? And the agents that bring about this undesirable change are known as your pollutants. So first, talking about your air pollution is harmful to your plants, your animals, as well as your human beings. So in plants, it decreases the yield and it causes the premature death. And then we have animals. So in animals and humans, it causes respiratory illness. So apart from this, the duration of exposure, the type of pollutant and the organism matters. The duration of exposure, for how long you're getting exposed, okay, and the type of pollutant and the organism. So all these things matter very much. So how do you remove air pollution? So by two means that we studied, right? So one is your electrostatic precipitator. So what does electrostatic precipitator do? So it has electrodes, and these electrodes produce a bunch of charges which are electrons, right? So these electrons bind to the dust particles in your air. So I pass my dirty air like this. So my electrons bind to the dust particles, thus giving it a net negative charge, and when it passes through the collector plates like this, which are gone, so these attract the negatively charged dust particles. Okay, so this is your electrostatic precipitator. So your electrostatic precipitator is used to remove suspended particulate matter like your dust and your aerosols, right? And the next thing that we spoke about is your scrubber. So your scrubber is used to remove gases like your sulfur dioxide. It uses water and lime spray. So we spoke about pollution control, Central Pollution Control Board, and they said the size of suspended matter, the diameter should not be more than 5 parts per million. After that, we spoke about automobiles as a huge source of pollution because automobiles leave unburnt hydrocarbons. They do not efficiently burn your hydrocarbons. So these hydrocarbons are efficiently or left unburnt, you can say. So if you use catalytic converters, catalyst in the form of rhodium or platinum in the engine. So when you are using a catalytic converter, you should make sure you use unleaded petrol because your lead will inactivate the catalyst. So these catalysts completely helps in the combustion of unburnt hydrocarbon. Yes, you're right. So unburnt hydrocarbon. So this is, it converts into carbon dioxide and water. It converts carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, nitric oxides into nitrogen gas, so thus it burns efficiently. Okay, so one case study we discussed here is your CNG in your Delhi. So compressed natural gas was used in case of your petrol and diesel, which was much cheaper and which burnt little efficiently. Okay, so then we spoke about what is noise pollution. So you should know what is music and what is noise, right? So what is the normal conversation decibel? So it is 30 to 60. Yes, so this is the normal concentration, 30 to 60 decibel, and above 150 it is where your jet planes take off, and this is considered highly noisy. Okay, yes. Fine. So after this, let's move forward. So we were talking about your water pollution. Yes, you're right. So platinum, palladium and cadmium are, no, it is rhodium, platinum, cadmium. They are used as catalytic converters. Okay, Satyendra? Yes. So then we went on to talk about your water pollution. So if there is any solid waste I can pick up from my water, what if they are dissolved ions, dissolved nutrients present in my water? So how will I remove them? Ma'am, today Menti quiz is there. So Sanjeevani, today we do not have Menti quiz. So today at 6 o'clock we have a lecture, that is Sell the Unit of Life. I will try to finish that lecture. Okay. So the next Menti we will have will be on Tuesday or Monday probably. So tomorrow also we are not having a Menti. So tomorrow 4 to 5 we are starting a new chapter in class 11, that is plant physiology, and 6 to 8 I have something interesting for you. So Menti will be most probably on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, yes. So here one way to remove this is your biological oxygen demand. So what is your biological oxygen demand? So your polluted water consists of a large amount of organic nutrients. Yes, so to break down these organic nutrients, you grow aerobic bacteria. So from the name it is understood that these bacteria need oxygen to breathe. So where will they get their oxygen from? So they oxidize this organic nutrient to obtain oxygen from them. So this is known as biological oxygen demand. So more is the biological oxygen demand, more polluted is the water. Yes, this relation is clear? Yes? Yes, ma'am. A very, very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, ma'am, what happened in yesterday's Menti? So you didn't come to yesterday's Menti, so I guess you were not able to see the question. Yes, so yesterday we played on body fluids and circulation, so you didn't come. I guess you came, but your questions were not visible to you. Is that so? Yes. Alright, so water pollution can lead to three things. What are they? One is algal bloom. So due to excess of nutrients, your algae can grow uncontrollably. Then you have biomagnification. So biomagnification is, example is your DTT. So it does not get eliminated nor it gets excreted, it just gets accumulated, right, in the food chain. So this is your biomagnification. So Vairavan says, yes ma'am, I was able to join in yesterday's. You wasn't able to join. Okay, fine, that's okay. So yesterday the mentee was on body fluids and circulation. So that was the chapter we played. So please go back and look into the questions. So the third one is eutrophication. So eutrophication is the natural aging of the lake. So due to a lot of nutrients that is present, that is eutrophication. When this natural aging process accelerates because of man-made activities, that is known as accelerated eutrophication. Right? So is this much clear to everyone? Yes. So this is what we were been discussing in the previous lecture. So I will go to today's part. So what are solid waste? So if you are all right now in your house, so if you have a garbage nearby, so please look into the dustbin that you have nearby. So all the waste. So if you have had a biscuit, the biscuit wrapper. If you have opened a new packet of soap, the soap wrapper. If you have opened a new packet of say any gadget, any new shoe that you have got, that box. So everything is waste, your kitchen waste. If you have opened a provision store cart, if you have opened a grocery packet, so if you have opened a sugar packet in the kitchen and the cover is in the dustbin, yes, so all that comes under your solid waste. Board is not clear. So you cannot see my board? You cannot see my board? So is it not clear to everyone? So this is not visible to you, Litika? Anyways, thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. So this is not clear to everyone, or is it clear? Clear only? Okay. Fine. All right. So that is your solid waste. So everything that is right now in your dustbin, that is your solid waste. Everything that goes to trash is your solid waste. So municipal solid waste, so this comes under the category of municipal solid waste. So you have your dustbin at home. So how do you empty your dustbin? So it's not that you keep your dustbin filling for 1 month, 2 months and then throw it out, right? So you make sure at least once in a day you take your dustbin and you empty it outside, so that you do not have more amount of insects, more amount of smell entering inside your house. You take the dustbin and empty it in a common dustbin in your street, the big green color one kept by a municipal corporation, right? So what do those people do? After that big dustbin is filled up, they will collect all the waste, put it in an empty site, and they will burn all the waste, right? So in this manner, a lot of waste is left unburnt properly. So this leads to pollution. So what is the right way then? So how should you dispose them? So that is why, this is one reason why we are still a developing country and we are not a developed country, because our system of waste disposal, our system of waste generation is not perfect. We do not have a systematic scheme. So just like we have a systematic scheme for your exam, hall ticket, etc., we do not have a systematic scheme for waste disposal. If you go to some places, they take the waste from one area, put it in another area and burn everything. So that does not solve the issue. That does not solve it completely. Time being, yes, you are getting rid of all the waste, but in the long term, it's causing a lot of pollution, right? Then how do you dispose the waste? Yes, if there is a lot of population, yes, a lot of waste comes into picture. So how are you going to dispose the waste? So what is the right method? Yes, Shivam sir, hello, very happy good evening. So please do like, share and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining our lecture. So Litika, kindly refresh your page. So I guess only the board is not clear to you, because the other says yes, it is clear. So what is the right way to dispose these waste? It is your solitary landfills, and it is a substitute for open burning dumps. So directly, instead of putting the waste on open ground and burning it, so dig a pit and put all the waste inside. Whatever is biodegradable would get degraded completely, and all the non-biodegradable at least will not cause pollution. Okay, so this is one way where you can get your solid waste disposed. The next, the most important one, hospitals generate hazardous waste and it contains disinfectants and harmful chemicals. So in a hospital waste, you can see surgical mask, you can see cotton swabs with blood, you can see injection needles, right? So what is the right method to dispose them? Suppose if I am giving you an injection and I just throw the needle in the bin, is that safe? And obviously that bin will go to the street dustbin and the street dustbin will burn the needle. Is it the right way? Yes, by the time it is getting burned, the infection will spread. So it is highly contagious. If at all a person is suffering from a severe virus and I swipe the his blood with a cotton swab and put it in a normal dustbin, is it not highly infectious? Yes, hospitals have to generate their waste properly. So this shows how disciplined the hospital is, irrespective of how many beds it has, irrespective of how big or small it is. How best they dispose their waste, because you reduce the spread of a disease, you ensure the health of a society only by generating the waste properly. And how do you generate hospital waste? You incinerate them. So what is incineration? So you burn at high temperature and then you throw it, because at high temperature it kills a lot of microbes. For example, life science people who work on your virus, so we study viruses in your lab, right? So we study it in a normal Petri plate, normal culture plate. So if you want to discard that plate, how do? We not throw it in the dustbin. You take a plastic bag, a hazardous bag which can withstand high temperature, you put it inside your a machine which can withstand high temperature and pressure. Yes, that is called as autoclave. Okay, or you put it inside a cooker and heat it to high temperature and pressure, which can kill a lot of microorganisms, and then throw it in the dustbin. So this is called as incineration. So hospital waste has to be discarded properly. How about e-waste? How about e-waste? So how many of you have so many old phones at home, so many old computers which have no work right now? So there are certain gadgets, even after so much of repairing, even after so much of efforts, it does not work still fine, right? There is always some trouble. So yes, I have an old phone which still works fine, but it is not up to the mark of the latest technology. So what do I do with my old phone? It has become an antique piece. At one point, say for example, now I'm having my old phone saying, okay, this was my first phone. But after 5 years down the line, I'm going to throw that phone. What will I do? At the most, I will remember the phone, I will take a picture of it, but how long can I accommodate it, right? So at one point, we throw all our CDs, your laptops, everything, right? So those also lead to pollution, because they are made up of metals, and burning them would lead to a lot of the release of gases. So bury it in landfills or incinerate them at high temperature completely. So these are the ways by which you can get rid of your solid waste, right? Ma'am, from e-waste, small quantity of metal can be recycled. Yes. So when you completely incinerate them or bury them, yes, a metal can be recycled. You're absolutely right, Vairavan. So the next waste is your agrochemical waste, the waste from your agriculture. So we use your pesticides and your fertilizers. So what does it do? It leads to biomagnification. Your DDT is a fertilizer, right? And it led to biomagnification. So agrochemical waste. So how do we overcome agrochemical waste? So the use of fertilizers and pesticides leads to your agrochemical waste. So organic farming is done. So in the previous lockdown, so all the celebrities took to organic farming, right? So what is organic farming? So it is a cyclic one where the waste from one process is used as a substrate for the other. So nothing is getting wasted. So imagine if you have cow in your place, and if you also have crops in your place, the cow dung is used as a manure to these crops, right? So you have no waste. So this is one thing, organic farming. So it is cyclical zero waste procedure where waste products from one process is cycled in as nutrients for other process. So this is your organic farming. So this zero waste procedure, you can follow it everywhere. So you can follow it everywhere. One example I will give you, follow it in the food that you eat. Suppose you are having, say for example, your favorite lunch, anything that you have, say for example, you are having a sabji, you are having poha, anything of your choice. How many of you have this habit of picking up tomatoes, chilies, everything? E-waste is to bury it inside the ground or incinerate it. Okay, Anthony? Yes. So how many of you have this habit of picking up the curry leaves, the dhania pattar, the pepper, the whatever ingredients are there? We have this bad habit of picking it up and putting it in a corner. Why? Yes. Ma'am, chili, how can we eat? It's very spicy, so I pick it and put it in the corner. Okay, yes, even I am with you, so I do the same thing. But okay, so that is wrong, right? So everything that you use for cooking is edible. Then why do you waste? Some people have the worst habit of picking up even tomatoes and keeping. Yes, I am one of them. But try to follow zero waste procedure. So that is really nice, so that you eat whatever is in the food, because whatever comes in the food, it is edible, right? Yes, even I try to follow this, but it takes a lot of time. I am not very comfortable with eating everything that comes in my food. So sometimes I pick up, but at the maximum, I try to have zero waste procedure. So please try following the same, because whatever you had in your food is completely edible. So some people pick up ginger also. Ginger is very, very healthy, so it will not allow the virus to grow inside your body. So I want Dush Fans Club. Okay, so whoever you are, thank you so much for joining my session. So please do like, share and subscribe. Ma'am, kya NEET postpone होगा? मैंने अपने full syllabus complete 20 August तक. Okay, fine. So don't worry, it's okay. So we are all happy that you're back suffering after COVID and you're strong again. So don't worry. So as of my opinion, so 50% it might get postponed. Even if it's not postponed, even if it is on the 1st of August, still you can do it, because you have fought your life. You can still move forward to fight for the NEET exam. You can still do a lot of things. You can finish the syllabus because you have a base, right? You can really do it. Start preparing. Even though the exam is there or not, you start studying. You do with a lot of determination and concentration. You can really go ahead. Okay? Dush Fans Club. All right. So I clean all the things in my plate. Yes, that's an absolutely perfect table manners. So that is how you should eat. Yes, even I have this habit of picking up chili, sometimes even tomato. If the tomato piece is very, very big, I have this habit of picking up. But try to follow it is zero waste procedure. So that is, you do not waste anything that comes in your food. All right. So try to follow that. So this allows maximum utilization of resources. This is your organic farming. Moving forward to the next one, radioactive waste. So all the scientists wanted to open a nuclear plant, but they never thought of two things. So first thing, that you will have leakage. So no one ever thought that your radioactive waste can leak. So one example is your Bhopal gas tragedy, the release or the leak of your methyl isocyanate. Number two, they never thought of how to dispose it. Your radioactive waste are highly lethal, because they can induce mutation at a very high rate. So a cluster of point mutation is called as gross mutation, and sometimes these mutation can pass from one generation to the other. So that is the major problem with your radioactive waste. So this causes mutation at a very high rate, and at high doses it is lethal. Yes, if it kills a person, that is fine, but if the person is attacked with a mild symptoms and is engrossed with a mutation that can pass from generation to generation, that is highly dangerous. Take your Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. So there was a nuclear blast, right? So even now the generations are suffering from the disease because it passes down the genes. So that is the huge problem in your radioactive waste. So how do you dispose them? So you go to a barren site where the soil is completely unfertile and you expose them or you burn them. So that is how you can treat your radioactive waste. Okay? Yes? Okay, then what is your greenhouse effect and global warming? So these are two terms that are interchangeably used in a confusing manner. So what is this greenhouse effect? So whether it is good or bad? So greenhouse effect is actually good and we need greenhouse, but more amount of greenhouse gas leads to global warming. So that is the relation. So for example, if imagine we are all in a snowy climate. okay? We are all right now in Shimla or Kashmir or Leh or Ladakh, and it is snowing outside. So inside the room we have a small campfire lit, and we have the room heater turned on, and we are all having very hot chai. So we all feel warm, right? So the heat from the heater, the heat or the warmth from the campfire spreads around the room, and it keeps us warm. So your greenhouse effect is something similar to that. So if your greenhouse effect was not there, then the Earth's average temperature would have been minus 15 degrees Celsius. So imagine sun's rays falls on the Earth, right? And it gets reflected back. So some radiations or some gases in the atmosphere, they hold back these radiations and keep the Earth warm. Okay, so because of your greenhouse effect and because of the greenhouse gases, so there are some gases which is responsible for holding back this heat. So without this, the temperature of the Earth would be minus 15. So because of the greenhouse, the average temperature of the Earth is 15 degrees. Alright, yes. So the greenhouse gases are your carbon dioxide and your methane. So they ensure that the heat is maintained on the Earth's surface and we get some amount of sunlight. Alright, so imagine if we do not have a greenhouse effect, then our temperature will be very, very low, right? So it will be minus 15 degree, where all of us will have to wear 10-20 layers every day on a daily basis. So imagine if this greenhouse effect happens at a higher rate. If the Earth is heated too much, what will happen? So what will happen if the entire Earth is heated too much? So we are all in a room in Kashmir or Leh or Ladakh, and the heater's temperature is increased. So at one point you start sweating, right? Yes, and the campfire, the warmth, the rate that is radiating from the campfire is also very high. So what will you do? So your skin starts burning. So on an Earth condition, so from the perspective of Earth, if you have more amount of greenhouse act, so it will lead to the melting of your glaciers. So if your glaciers melt, your water level will rise. Yes, and it will also lead to the loss of biodiversity. Where will your polar bears live? Right? So it will also lead to your biodiversity loss. Thus, greenhouse is important for us naturally, but too much of greenhouse effect leads to global warming. Right? Yes, so as of now, I have defined what is greenhouse effect and what is your global warming. So please don't include ozone depletion. I have not started. So as of now, have you understood what is greenhouse effect and what is global warming? Yes? Man, in future Earth will be like micro oven. Okay, so yes, so Earth is turning much hotter because of the greenhouse effect. So your glaciers are melting. So if you look at the amount of glaciers that is present in the pole, it is actually rising. Right? Sorry, it's actually melting. So we are on the verge of losing a lot of animals. Right? Because the glaciers are not there. They cannot live in water. They are not aquatic beings. So that is the reason. So did you get the difference between greenhouse effect and global warming? Yes? Clear? Okay. So greenhouse effect warms up. It does not allow heat to escape. So greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomenon and it is responsible for heating the Earth's surface. Hi Munna. Yes, hello. A very, very happy good evening. Yes, I am good. Thank you. How are you? So thank you so much Munna for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. So carbon dioxide and methane are the greenhouse gases. So they help in maintaining the greenhouse effect. But due to man-made activities, we have more release of these gases which leads to global warming. So increase in the level of greenhouse gases that leads to considerable heating of the earth leading to global warming. So I hope all those who are listening are now clear about greenhouse effect and global warming and you will not confuse between the both. Right? Yes. So moving forward, the next one is your ozone depletion. So what is this ozone? So this is a third term that I want to introduce. So you have a layer in your atmosphere called as ozone. So ozone, it is chemically written as O3, right? So this ozone prevents us from the harmful radiations of the sun. So sometimes if you are inside a car and if it's a very sunny day, you have a sheet that covers your window, right? You can purchase that and put a net light on the window so that the sun rays does not fall, right? So similarly, ozone is a layer like that. It prevents the harmful radiations of the sun from falling on us. So you have different types of radiations. You have infrared radiation, you have ultraviolet radiation. So infrared radiations, yes, they are good, they enter the earth, okay? Whereas your ultraviolet radiations, they cause harmful effects to our body, meaning they induce point mutations in our DNA. So that has to be prevented. So something has to shield it, right? Yes, so your ozone is one. But since your ozone formation is being hampered by human activities, so your ozone layer is not formed and there comes the layer. So imagine a sunlight is falling, so you put curtain in your house. The simplest example, right? So during the mid-afternoon, you put on the curtains because it's very sunny. So if the curtain has a huge hole, then what is the point? If the curtain has a huge hole in the center, so it is not going to prevent you from the sunlight, right? So your ozone is something similar to it. If greenhouse gases increases, means global warming will be the result. Yes, you're absolutely right, Anthony. So bad ozone, so you have what is known as bad ozone, that is it is present in the lower atmosphere in a layer known as troposphere. It harms plants and animals. So good ozone is present in the upper part, that is your stratosphere. So I understand if this is your curtain, right? So no one will lie down here, right? Because the heat will fall. So imagine in a curtain, so this is your good ozone, because this portion is what you want to maximum cover yourself, right? So this is the good ozone and this is the bad ozone. So the good ozone is in the upper part, that is stratosphere, and the lower part is your troposphere. So how much of ozone is present? It is measured in terms of your Dobson's unit. So that is the unit of measurement of your ozone. So ozone gas is continuously formed by the action of UV rays on molecular oxygen. So UV rays from the sun, it acts on the molecular oxygen to form your ozone layer, right? But because of man-made activities by which we send chlorofluorocarbons into the atmosphere, so this chlorofluorocarbons reduces chloride, which inhibits this process. So from your ACs, from your jet planes, from your refrigerators, we release chlorofluorocarbons. So these chlorofluorocarbons, they enter the atmosphere, they release chloride ions. So these chloride ions, they inhibit the conversion of oxygen to ozone, right? Yes? Yes, bad ozone harms everyone, right? So this is why you have an ozone depletion. So you have a chloride free radical that does not allow this process to happen. So as a result, your ozone is not getting formed and you have the depletion of the layer that is present. So this is your ozone layer, okay? This is because of this layer. It is because of this. So bad ozone harms plants and animals because it does not shield the harmful radiations from the sun. So if you have a big hole in the curtain, how will it protect you from sunlight? So there is no point of having the curtain, right? So similarly, your ozone is formed by the action of ultraviolet radiations on molecular oxygen. But if this process is inhibited, then ozone is not formed. So this process is inhibited by your CFCs that we release from man-made activities, and the chloride ions that get released, those inhibit that process. So this leads to ozone hole. Okay, so this is your ozone depletion. So improper resource utilization. So we do not utilize the resources properly. So one thing is we need plants. So if more plants are there, they can hold the soil back. So you prevent soil erosion. Just because of deforestation, we are having soil erosion as well. There is no one to hold back a soil. So by doing one wrong thing, we are missing the other right thing as well, right? So that is improper resource utilization, so soil erosion and desertification, then water clogging and soil salinity. So your soil should not hold too much of water. So that is also bad. It will prevent the movement, or it will prevent the uptake of other nutrients in the soil. So that is also one reason. So this is improper resource utilization. So moving further, what is deforestation? Conversion of forested area to non-forested area. So we humans are skilled at deforestation, right? So take a knife, take a sword, chop off all the plants. Why do we need plants, right? We only need land, we only need value, we only need money. At the end of the day, we only need money because we all eat money, we all breathe money, right? No. There's a lot of things that is beyond money. There's something called as mental peace. There's something called as satisfaction. So even if you do not have money, at the end of the day, if you're able to sleep, that is good. And that's not possible. Yes, I agree. You all have to eat. We need some amount of money. So we do not need money at the cost of troubling others, right? So please don't trouble your nature as well. So your nature has been patient enough to bestow us with a lot of things, so we should give back what we got, right? So conversion of forested area to non-forested area. So what is reforestation? So that non-forested area is converted back into forested one. So that is reforestation. So you can also participate in reforestation. So grow plants in your house. So put a tree on your, put a plant on your study table. So just a small broken bottle. So put a small eggplant into it. It grows, right? Yes, trees purify air, you're absolutely right, and they ensure you get adequate rainfall. So this is your deforestation. So you have some ways by which you can overcome this. So the first one is slash and burn agriculture. So if you have one piece of land and you started harvesting a particular crop, but that particular crop is not growing well in the soil, so what do? You burn all the crops in this area and you reharvest something else. So this is your slash and burn agriculture. It is also known as jum cultivation. Right? So this is one thing that you have to remember, and I guess you know about the Chipko movement. So here you have to remove Montreal Protocol. So that was signed for your global warming. So these are some of the terms that I want you to remember. So with this we come to a fruitful end of your ecology. So ecology is done. So very soon you will be having a mega mentee in the unit ecology, and the winner of that will get access to a mock test series. So please prepare well. Your ecology is done. So from Monday, I will be starting with your genetics unit. Meanwhile, tomorrow at 4 p.m. we are starting with your plant growth and development, the last chapter in plant physiology. So not to forget, we are meeting again at 6 p.m. talking about cell, the unit of life. Okay? Yes? Ma'am, in one article, I came to know that 2040, only 40% of the population will get enough food. Yes, that is a sad truth. That is a sad but an alarming truth, but which no one wakes up to. Yes, even I have read an article, something similar. Alright, so let's see if you are becoming responsible citizens. So please take care and stay safe. If you genuinely liked my way of teaching, so please do like, share and subscribe. So please join me for my lecture at 6 p.m. this evening. So until then, this is me signing off. So take care and bye-bye.